Respected friends, welcome you all. Our each of these sadhanas are of utmost help. The special beauty of our sadhanas is every day we are doing. Thus, a beautiful habit we are making, a wonderful samskaras we are making, and we are freeing ourselves from all fears and inhibitions which generally stop us from doing all such beautiful sadhanas. Especially, you can just feel it that by chanting every day the Veda mantras, how much we are making the Veda Rishis Shruti Mata happy, isn't it? So, too, by chanting the mantras, Gayatri mantra, every day, one Paramatma only in one or the other form, we are remembering and invoking the Kripa. Isn't it? How it's such an excellent seven tapasyas program hours every day. If we can really value it, knowing the value of it, value it, and do the same thing more intensely, and taking this as sample and example throughout the day also, stealing the time from any unwanted thing. If more and more times these sadhanas are done, we are doing what we are supposed to do. Then the things will start in fall in right place. The things falling in right places, outer world becomes convenient for us. Inner atmosphere also becomes convenient and conducive for us for our innermost journey. So to our useful common sense thought every day, so to our sankalpa for the entire universe preceded by our remembrance of the entire Guru Parampara, Acharyas, etc. In the same way, good habit we are developing for ourselves without much effort just by sticking to our programs of chanting not less than the Upanishad mantras themselves. How many in this universe are getting a chance to chant the Sarvotkrushta Upanishad mantras? There are millions, being Hindus also, do not know that there are existing these Upanishads, which teach us Brahma Vidya, which give us moksha. Even they don't know. They are astika. They remember the Lord, they worship, they go to temple. Ask them, do you know Upanishad? क्या है उपनिषद हमको नहीं पता. They say, but we are chanting the mantras every day. And the last one, what more joy than trying every day through Bhashya to understand the heart of the rishis, the heart of the Upanishads, through that the ultimate good, the ultimate Shreyas, both the goal to be achieved as well as the means and sadhana to be done. So many a times we do the bad things and we don't realize them and we continue doing. Many times we do good things but we don't realize the goodness of them. Therefore, the intensity will not come. We are doing the justice to the second thing now by this discussion that what we are doing is the highest, greatest, noblest. But do with improved attitude, improved intention, improved attention, improved Shraddha Bhakti day by day. At least 1 hour we are able to try to become spiritual. Though it is not sufficient because throughout the day we have to involve in the Adhyatmikata. But at least this much we are able to do by our Krupa of our Gurus and the Lord. So we welcome you heartily every day to join this. Tell your friends also, convince them. Isn't it ultimately keeping away all our minds, likes, dislikes, or notions? What is given here? What is the great use of it? Focusing on that, become regular, serious, sincere. There is nobody here as a speaker speaking to you as an individual. There is no such a specific to be conditioned activity happening here. Here is only one thing is happening. We are reminded of the ultimate truth through our Shastras. The Lord is blessing us. We have to receive those blessings. May Parabrahma Ishvara Jagannatha Devata Gana Guru Gana Shastra Gana Nirantara Shavar their Kripa on us. May we realize that Kripa. May our Vyaktitwas of Lokasevaka Dharma Samstapaka Adi also become day in and day out stronger and deeper. With this small introduction, with again hearty gratitudes, welcome to you all. Let us do our first activity of Veda Parayanam. Nowadays, from last maybe a month or so, even little more, we are doing the Veda Parayanam, chanting, repeating, and seeing together. So, very good practice. Even if you don't have the book, first time what is chanted when you listen, second time you can repeat. That itself is a good effort. If you have the book in front and chant first time and second time and third time, three times practice is happening. May we tune to the rishis, to the Brahma Tattva through all these efforts. We don't have any second goal, second project, second ambition. Only one without second, that we have to realize the Brahman. That's it. Now today's Vedic chanting is, after doing our so many Shanti mantras and Dasha Shantis, we'll do the mantra Pushpam today. From tomorrow, again let us see what Lord gives the idea. Anything He tells us is for our interest. Only have that faith. Om Athaveda Parayanam Mantra Pushpam. Om. The Shanti mantra we chant together just once, or we leave it straight away. We go to Yopam Pushpam Veda. Om Yopam Pushpam Veda. Om Yopam Pushpam Veda. Pushpavan Prajavan Pashuman Bhavati. Pushpavan Prajavan Pashuman Bhavati. Chandrama va apam pushpam. Chandrama va apam pushpam. Pushpavan Prajavan Pashuman Bhavati. Pushpavan Prajavan Pashuman Bhavati. Ya evam Veda, Ya evam Veda, Yopamayatanam Veda, Yopamayatanam Veda, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Agnirva Apamayatanam, Agnirva Apamayatanam, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Yognirayatanam Veda, Yognirayatanam Veda, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Apova Agnirayatanam, Apova Agnirayatanam, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ya evam Veda, Ya evam Veda, Yopamayatanam Veda, Yopamayatanam Veda, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Vayurva Apamayatanam, Vayurva Apamayatanam, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Yo Vayorayatanam Veda, Yo Vayorayatanam Veda, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Apo Vai Vayorayatanam, Apo Vai Vayorayatanam, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ya evam Veda, Ya evam Veda, Yopamayatanam Veda, Yopamayatanam Veda, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Asau Vai Tapannapamayatanam, Asau Vai Tapannapamayatanam, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Ayatanavan Bhavati, Yo Mushyatapata Ayatanam Veda, यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनं चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनं नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनं संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति यत्संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद यत्संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति प्रत्येव तिष्ठति ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः महाराजाय नमः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Wonderful. Chant together with Shanti Mantra. ॐ अथ मन्त्रपुष्पम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति योऽग्नेरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अग्नेरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो वायोरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै वायोरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति असौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्य तपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्य तपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति ॐ राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः ॐ शान्तिः 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 Very good. Tomorrow we'll do Galabhatyatarva Shirsha, then we do Narayana Upanishad, then we do Suryo Upanishad. After that, we will do the Suktams repeated. Once they are over, let us see if the Lord wants. We will do the Upanishads only because they are our topics of study. Anyway, we are doing Veda chanting, isn't it? What more? Krishna Vasudeva. Friends, in our today's program, with the same attitude of bhakti and dhyana and shraddha, let us do our chanting, dhyana purvaka mantrocharana, Gayatri mantras. After so many Gayatri mantras done, Nowadays we are seeing the Dashavatara Gayatri. So Matsya Gayatri yesterday we have seen. Today we'll do the Kurma Avatara Gayatri. Kurma Bhagavan, we all know, Bhagavan Narayana only has appeared in that form to support the, what do you call, the Mantarachara Parvata, using which the Devatas, Asuras were doing the Kshira Sagara Mathana with the goal of Amrita Prapti. So many things have come. Amrita also is brought by Bhagavan Dhanvantari ji, cannot be given to the Rakshasas. Therefore, because they are already powerful, and if they have the ambrosia also, then they will never cease to exist. They will continue to disturb the rhythm of the world called as Dharma. That's why Bhagavan did not give them, and the Amrita is given only to the Devatas. So that Kurma Rupena, Bhagavan did the dharana of the Mantarachala Parvata from it getting sunk into the ocean. Support to चाहिए ना नीचे से. So lot of beautiful descriptions of that Kurma avatar are there in various Puranas and Itihasas. And only that Leela of Kurma Bhagavan we see at that time of supporting the mountain. But other than that, to the bhaktas of that avatara, the Bhagavan is always there to bless. And what blessings we want from him? Only one thing, the Brahma Prapti. There is no doubt about it. So Vidmahe, we know, Dhimahi, we meditate, Prachodayat, we request the Lord to bless us with the Prachodanam in our Adhyatmika Pragati. First of all questions, doubts regarding this Adhyatmika Lakshya Marga should get dispelled. All the Shraddha, Ishtata, etc. should come. And all the abilities to understand through the Upanishads the nature of that Paramatma and its place of availability. Then, by the grace, we should also know the sadhana to reach. Then we should have the intelligence to plan our life so well that every moment the sadhana is happening to reach to that goal. In all these things, we ask our devatas every day to do the prachodanam. So vidmahe dhimahi prachodayat. Okay. Now the what is Kurma Devata mantra? Om Kachapeshaya vidmahe Mahajwalaya dhimahi. Tanno Kurmaha prachodayat. Simple. So Kachapeshaya vidmahe, the Lord of all the Kachapas, or the best of all the Kachapas, or the Ishvara who has come in the Kachapa avatara, whose story we just saw in a minute. Otherwise, the whole Kurma Purana is there. One can study. The second Purana, na? Matsya Kurma Purana, Kurma Purana. So, Kachapeshaya Vidmahe is the kindness of the Lord, that who even took the Kachapa avatar also to come to bless the world, to bless the Jivas. तो सी दिस मत्स्य कूर्म वरावतार से हमें ये देखना है कि भगवान हैज नॉट हेजिटेटेड टू कम in the form of the fish and tortoise and even that swine when it is to protect, bless his devotees. His kripa karuna should go into our heart. So Kachapeshaya vidmahe. Then Mahajwalaya dhimahi. We meditate on that Mahajwala Rupa Kachapa Paramatma, in the Jvala of which may he burn away all our residues of Tamoguna, Rajoguna, Ajnana, Ityad. Tanno Kurmaha Prachodhyat, that Kurma Bhagavan do our Prachodana as we just requested. Okay. So, Kachapeshaya Vidmahe, Mahajwalaya Dhimahi, Tanno Kurmaha Prachodhyat. Now remember the Kurma Rupa Paramatma in the Hridaya. Do the upasana to him, and while chanting this, pray single pointedly that what Adhyatmika orientation today I have, O Lord, that is not at all sufficient. With so much of disturbances, distractions, etc., I want total single pointed involvement in this to reach to the highest goal very soon. For that, whatever the things I have to do, For that, do prachodanam for me. Bless me. Okay. Om Kachapeshaya Vidmahe Mahajwalaya Dhimahi Tanno Kurmaha Prachodayat. While chanting Mahajwalaya, feel the Lord is burning away into ashes all our inner and outer obstructions of all sorts on our route to परमात्मा प्राप्ति. सबको भगवान जला के राख कर रहे, ऐसा भावना करते हुए ओं कच्छपेशाय विद्महे महाज्वालाय धीमहि तन्नो कूर्मः प्रचोदयात्. 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 ओम श्री कूर्मनारायण परब्रह्मणे नमः. मां रक्ष रक्ष परिपाहि परिपाहि आध्यात्मिक प्रगतिं प्रयच्छ प्रयच्छ तत्वानुभूतिं मोक्षं प्रयच्छ प्रयच्छ प्रसीद प्रसीद प्रसन्नो प्रसन्नो भव श्रेय श्रेय श्रेयत्वं प्रदेहि प्रदेहि. Kurma Bhagwan's mandir is there in that Andhra Pradesh towards Orissa, Sri Kurmam. In every of the mandira, especially Vishnu mandiras, we will see the Kurma Bhagwan tortoise there. And when we do the puja, panchayat, any puja, Bhagwan, Shankha, when we put it on the Kurma Rupa, that is base only. Kurma Bhagwan's Kripa Karuna, we must know. And in Bhagavad Gita, luckily, the topic which we are studying in that Bhagavan Krishna gives the Kurma example only. Kurma Anganiva Sarvashaha. Yada samharate chayam Kurmonganiva Sarvashaha Indriyani Indriyarthebhya Tasya Prajna Pratishtita. So, Bhagavad Gita is permanent Shastra. In that permanent Shastra, permanent Rupena, Kurma Udaharana Upamana is given. Bhagavan has given. So, in that way, let us be a devotee of Narayana, Bhagavan Parabrahma, in all the form which is a support for the mind. But the intellect knows that it is Parabrahma and Ishvara, and we are doing the due required upasana puja to tune to him and to be blessed by him. Right? So, two things we have done: Veda Parayana Mantra Pushpam, Kurma Gayatri. Third one in our sadhana is the common sense thought. In our common sense thought today, what we'll see, two or three things. Krishna, first one is the who are the Rakshasas, who are Manushyas, who are Devatas, who are Sadhakas. So simple. And we should know where do we stand and where we have to reach to. Rakshasa, Asura, Daitya are those who, for their own selfishness, are ready to destroy anything and anybody. And their selfish purpose is the power, the bhoga. That's all. To have the power over others, rule them, govern them, suppress them, do anything to them for that particular thing and for the indulgences and bhoga. The one who are ready to destroy any other being, they are called Asura Rakshasa. It's a pravrutti. Rakshasa pravrutti, Asura pravrutti is that wherein we don't hesitate to destroy others. No kindness, no compassion, no concern, absolute cruelty, criminality. And to the extent that attitude and effort of ours to destroy others is there, that level of छोटे से लेकर बड़े से बड़ा असुर राक्षस we are. See, in our past life, for our selfishness, did we trouble anyone? It can be parents, it can be the family of wife, husband, children, it can be our office staff, it can be neighbors, our servants. किसी को हमने अपने स्वार्थ के लिए तंग किया, that time we are asura. And that asuri pravritti say, whatever the karma we did, it will give us the result of dukkha, naraka, etc. There is no way. We have to know it, we have to guard ourselves. Okay. This is Asura, idea given, think and understand the further things. Second, who is Manushya? The one who doesn't destroy the world, but he lives life only for his own swartha. है ना? Only for मेरे पेट संभालने वास्ते, मेरे खुशियों के लिए. He doesn't harm others, but he is selfish. अपना ही सिर्फ संभालना. He is called as Manushya. Works hard, etc. He doesn't cheat anybody, he doesn't trouble anyone. He is not in adharma papa marga like the asura. He is in the dharma punya satkarma marga only. But he is selfish. He is not at all concerned for any fellow beings. Such Manushya will be again sent back to this Manushya loka only to continue. Correct? Then what is the Devata Swarupa, Devata Lakshana? Is third one wherein we are ready to serve others, sometimes even at the cost of our own comforts and conveniences. The Daiviya Buddhi is that Buddhi where we are ready to help others, serve others, take care of others, understand others, see their needs. Daiviya Buddhi. You know, that Buddhi you and I have to generate if it's not there in us. You know, the other day in Skanda Purana, it was so heart touching thing. Ki more than 2-3 paragraphs there, Bhagavan Mahadev Shivji to Mother Parvati goes on telling what is a life if that life is not used for helping others, loving others, serving others, etc. करके लंबा वहाँ शिव भगवान gives the importance of taking care of others, the other fellow beings. It can be any of them. अदर मनुष्य पशु पक्षी वनस्पति उनका सेवा करना दैवीय गुण है. उनका रक्षण करना दैवीय गुण है. उनका पालन पोषण करना दैवीय गुण है. Ready to serve others, take. Such person either goes to the Swarga or when he comes down to the earth, he will be given that power like a king who can take care of the whole kingdom and the praja. Because his attitude is to serve all, to take care of all, to protect all. Who does it on the earth is Raja only. Therefore, that Raja, Pada is given to him or higher than that Raja is the Devata Sthiti, wherein he is able to take care of everyone because of his attitude. And being in the Devata sthiti, he'll have all those, the other side, Swarga Bhogas, comforts, and the respects and values, etc. So, therefore, always the thought of what I can do for others. Like in our modern world, in every of the receptional trainings, there's all people are trained only to talk about this. No? Anybody comes, yes, sir, can tell me what can I do for you? है ना, अब होटल में रिसेप्शन में जाओ या कहीं भी फोन पे करो तो पूछते हैं कहिए हम आपके लिए क्या सेवा कर सकते हैं. That's a beautiful saying, way of saying, attitude. And that should not be only theoretical, professional, but it should be from the heart, not for any benefit. Here we are only to serve others. First, doing our Swadharma is the great service. Thereafter, even going out of our own comfort zone, if we can serve others, it's a great, great thing. He is called as the Devata Swarupa. Then naturally the fourth one, who is a sadhaka, who has transcended all these things, having done them. Sarvadharman Parityaja Sthiti is there now. Now he is Mamekam Sharanam Braja. He is not interested in serving the people, nor he is selfish, nor for the selfish purpose. He is troubling anybody or Prakriti. He is only Paramatma oriented. He is called sadhaka. His drishti is only to do the Saguna Sakara Bhagavad Upasana for only Upasana's sake. That's it. Why do you do Upasana? What do you want from the Lord? I want nothing. I enjoy worshipping Him. That's it. उनका वो attitude ही है. The other one is he is a pursuer of the Paramatma in his Nirguna Nirakara, like even they are doing through the study of the Shastras. This is the highest somebody can do. See, doing the highest is one thing, but doing it in the highest spirit of dedication, devotion, with full consciousness and awareness of knowing its value is different. We are doing it, but how much intensity of our application is they are born out of our awareness. That is the highest thing. The highest thing I am doing, therefore, with total dedication, I have to do this with this knowledge and awareness. If we do it, then we are in the very good position and path. So, the Asura Daitya Rakshasas, or the Manushas, or the Devatas, or the Sadhakas. Now, the Devatas go to Devaloka, the Sadhakas go nowhere. They realize Brahman here only thing happens in their life is they'll be put in different yonis and worlds where their next level of evolution is made convenient or possible. That's what the Lord blesses. So that's how four are there. Among them, what we are, we have to see. Go to the next level. This is one thought today. Should be enough, I think. Or maybe let us see the second one. Thoda sa shortcut only. What is it is? Dekho bhai. If a fourth one is our goal, spiritual evolution, we have to involve in that. Why we are not able to involve? Because we are involving in something else. Today's our second thought is this, that in whatever the things we are involved in, artha and kama adi, because of which we are not able to gather ourselves to apply for spirituality. Please remember, please think about it, that are they by themselves ending in our life? They won't end because they are jada, they never came. Therefore, they never go also. Our pravritti in the world and worldliness we are talking about, उसके लिए कोई उस तरफ से end नहीं होता, because they never made a beginning to make an end, because they are all jada. Then who made a beginning of involving in this world at the cost of spirituality? Isn't it? It is I only made a beginning, no? Then I only slowly should stop it, make an end to it. If I don't put an end, it never ends. If that never ends, the spirituality never begins. Just in Gita, that's the mantra we are studying. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina. our involvement in food bhoga, it will not end by itself. We have to end it by saying that food is for life, that is once or twice a day for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Beyond that, I should not make food an important issue in my life at all. I say once for all, decide karke, who will have to live? I only have to do. Otherwise, it will not end. Daily चलता रहेगा, अनेक अनेक जन्म चलता रहेगा. And if I do only thinking about the food more and more, all pashus do only that thing. Therefore, I'll be given that janma only. Because बिना भोजन, other than भोजन खाना, तो कुछ सोच ही नहीं रहा. So too, who will put an end to my watching TV or all those cinema or any other things, if at all? It will not end because people will go on producing and the channels will go on telecasting them. Is no end to that. It will go on. Then, if I am interested in Adhyatmic sadhana, and for that I have to have my attention, awareness, alertness, energy, who will have to stop all of them? Only I have to do it, now because I made a beginning. In the same way, my involvement with the people, etc., it won't end. It will continue. It's only slowly I have to reduce them and minimize it to wherever it is required. That's all. So too in all other outer projects, whichever are making me forget Paramatma Tattva, none of them will end by themselves. We have to shake our heads and understand this fact that we made a beginning and we are continuing it. Therefore, we are not able to start spirituality. Therefore, we should also know that we have to stop them and we have to start this. Totally, it is in our hands. फिर से सुनो, neither God is interested, nor Shastra is interested, nor the fellow world is interested in us. They only use us for their purpose and they help us whenever we ask for the helper. And in which field we are asking the helper, that help they give us. If we ask them the help for our pravrutti, our indulgence, our extrovertedness, they will bless us for that. And if we ask them to help us in our nivritti, withdrawal, going inside to discover the self, in that way, the Guru Devata Shastra will help us. Other than that, basic question is why should they have any concern? If at all they have, that is extra. But basically, there is no duty for them. It is our duty for us to think that we have to evolve spiritually. For that, we have to attend to the spiritual sadhana, and for that, we have to put an end to all the nonsense which we are doing every day. कैसा दिन पूरा गुजरता है देखो, isn't it? So we have to think, understand, and definitely uh, we have to make big sacrifices for spiritual sadhana because we are involved in those big things which are absolutely absurd and nonsense. They appear to be big, but they are useless. Anything is useless if it is distracting us from the spirituality. असल एक स्पिरिचुअल साधना है, सिद्धि है, उसका ये महत्व है. इवन इसको जानने के लिए भी हमें उस तरफ जाने नहीं दे रहा. That is what the meaning of yesterday, haranti prasabham manaha prasakhya vishayamukham karoti indriyani prasabham manaha atmavimukham manaha abhi vishayamukham karoti akuli krutya. See that? Exactly, that's the topic we are studying. So we have to slowly put an end. Second point. Third point is that now take an example. Who can be an example for us in this regard? Then our own great Puja Gurudev. No, he was in his own schools, he was in his own colleges, he has done his own whatever education he has to do thereafter. That was the peak time of Indian freedom fighting and struggle. How much he involved in that freedom fight at his own capacity at that time. By being the sub editor in that patrika and writing articles and trying to inspire the people in whichever the way. He was in the pravrutti, from the swartha pravrutti into the desha rakshana, desha swatantrata Sangrama Pravritti he was in. Is it not? Be careful. All that was his Pravritti. No, once when he had that thought that let me write an article against all these sadhu sannyasis, because everybody at their own different levels of maturity or immaturity have the understandings and attitudes. When he went to Rishikesh, met Swami Shivanandaji and saw the great thing that's done by all the sadhu sannyasis of the Nivrutti Marga of Paramatma Prapti, how much he got inspired, and thereafter, has he ever looked back again into the earlier world of Pravritti? Totally he gave up. Little the political, Deshabhakti, Samskaras, Vasanas were there in him, and that also finally exhausted by initiating a great grand movement of that Vishwa Hindu Parishad. That Vishwa Hindu Parishad, he started himself, it was his brainchild only, to bring all the Hindus on to one platform. You understand? That particular aspect of him is what? The final coming together of the pravritti and nivritti. You understand? With that organizational beginning, his pravritti totally is withdrawn. Now he's only in the nivritti mark. And that VHP has become political and they are doing their whatever they have to do. Puja Gurudev to totally has dedicated his entire life only for the Paramatma Tattva through the Bhagavad Gita Jnana Yajnas, Upanishad Jnana Yajnas, Tattva Shastra Prakarana Jnana Yajnas, and entire whatever the great samstha he has started and did work. The only purpose of it is what? The Nivrutti and Paramatma Prapti. He never taught Pravritti at all. For that, the great, seemingly greatest Deshabhakti and Desha Rakshana also, he just gave up. Gave up means what? In the spiritual evolution, उसमें विश्व भक्ति विश्व सेवा, देश भक्ति देश सेवा, लोक भक्ति लोक सेवा, मनुष्य भक्ति मनुष्य सेवा, पशु पक्षी भक्ति सेवा, all of them are included in one thing if we pursue the Adhyatmika Tattva and make others also do that. Did he anyway again later on went into any political meetings? Has he contested in any elections? Throughout his next life of 42 and a half years, once he has come here, has he even looked back into any pravritti? Pravritti of any sort. I give the example of politics and Deshabhakti, which he was involved. The other pravritti of let me earn the money, let me start the business. Bhagavad Gurudev never sold agarbatti. He never sold any of the things for earning money, etc. You understand? Only one goal. How to spread this Tattva Jnana, Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, Mukti Jnana. His whole thing was dedicated only for that. Isn't it? Wherever he is in Jnana Yajna giving Satsanga, no other topic, no other theme, only the Tattva Shastras he spoke. He has never come down even to the level of down only it is. Talking on Bhagavata Adi Purana, talking on the Hanuman Chalisa. Gurudev never had Hanuman Chalisa Jnana Yajna. Only Brahma Jnana, Tattva Jnana he spoke. Later on, when others were wanting to talk on it, he visualized these fellows will never listen to me and they are at that level. If I say no to that, they will only get down and down, fall down. चलो ठीक है मैं क्या करूं करके he permitted. Otherwise, Gurudev's only work is Gita and Upanishads. And we are doing that only. He is an example for us that by his own choice, he withdrew from the pravritti and celebrated his life by being in the nivritti. Into the tattva he entered and then he guided who are getting guided, millions of them. So, what is our second and third thoughts today? Third is example of Puja Gurudev. Second one is there is no end to outer pravritti by itself. We have to put an end. So, too, there is no beginning to spirituality by itself, by nobody. It is we who have to make a beginning. After making a beginning here, putting an end to there, we should never start that again. We should never stop this again. एक बार प्रवृत्ति से बाहर आ गए, दोबारा फंसना नहीं उसमें। एक बार निवृत्ति तत्व ज्ञान के मार्ग में आ गए, उसको छोड़ना नहीं दोबारा। ओनली ए कमजोर बुजदिल, द वन हु इज नॉट मैच्योर्ड, क्लियर इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग, ही ओनली गिव्स अप दिस हाईएस्ट, ग्रेटेस्ट, noblest path. Come what may. Variety of tests will come, variety of difficulties will come. So what? My intellect is convinced about this highest goal and path. I am not going to give up. Let the Lord put me in whichever the situation. I pursue only the absolute truth and reality. That's how we have to be very strict and very strong in our decisions and pursuits. नहीं तो हर बात पे इतना कमजोर होते हैं, हर बात पे the highest spiritual thing alone is compromised with, given up. What a weak fellows we are. What an ignorant fellows we are. Isn't it? It's all weakness and ignorance. When the knowledge is pakka, when the strength is from within, the strength born out of conviction, which has got the dareness and courage to stop me from my the inner nivritti sadhana. Take example of Bhagwan Adi Shankara and all. They are only focused on Paramatma Tattva. They are not involved in anything else. And you and I देखो इतना मौका मिलता हुआ भी still our 90% of mind is valuing the world only, valuing the pravritti only, valuing the things and beings and involvements, indulgences, positions only. थोड़ा शर्म करना चाहिए, सोचना चाहिए, अपने आप को हेल्प करना चाहिए. And what is the basic thought? It will never end by itself because it has never started. We only made a beginning, therefore it's we only have to put an end. And the beauty is what? Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya. When you start putting an end to them, they slowly recede from us. Whatever the things which are consuming our time and energy and attention, the worldly things. Isn't it? So this is our second and third talk today. In that way, three things we have done. Now the fourth one, our Sankalpas and chantings and our Upanishad study. Let us do it, friends. Just half a second. Just 1 minute. Om, 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 Om Sahanavavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Saviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhetamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वम् ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यम् ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानाम् ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् ओम भवता जनता सुहिता भविता ओम ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदम् ओम परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपा अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्तिविश्व आध्यात्मिकप्रगत्यर्थं धर्मसंस्थापकानां नित्यनिरन्तर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराममन्दिरवद् शिवकृष्णादिमन्दिरादीनां पुनराप्ति तेषु निरन्तरशास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक शाश्वत रूपेण भारतवर्षे विश्वे च शाश्वत रूपेण वैदिकैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेकशास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्यशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ओम नित्यानंदम निराधारम निखिलाधारम अव्ययम निगमाद्यगतम नित्यम नीलकंठं नमाम्यहम्. ओम पारायणम अथ Shashtodhyayah. How many we have done yesterday? 18. Today let us do 19, 20. Only two mantras. ॐ निष्कळं निष्क्रियं शान्तं निरवध्यं निरञ्जनम् अमृतस्य परं सेतुं दग्धेन्धनमिवानलम् यदा चर्मवदाकाशं वेष्टयिष्यन्ति मानवाः तदा देवमविज्ञाय दुःखस्य हन्तो भविष्यति. I have never seen any shloka which is so greatest in its example to tell us what is important in our lives, in our life, meaning other than Paramatma Tattva, there is nothing which can save us. This shloka, which we will study when it comes. We are anyway en route to that only while studying this sixth chapter. Okay, sixth chapter, the 13th mantra. I'm sure you have got the main theme of it and any number of speakers speak to us in any of the sophisticated languages, yuktis, examples, in whatever the way, unless we do our own mananam, that knowledge never becomes ours. Our homework is a must, which we are not doing, therefore, the knowledge still is alluring us. It's not becoming our knowledge, and therefore, because this knowledge is not mine, I am not totally deciding to be a sadhaka as we saw just now in the common sense thought. Because I am not deciding and pursuing the sadhaka and sadhana, that I am continuing to be a samsara. Every day, every moment, without caring how old I have become, without thinking in how many useless channels my day is wasted, without feeling sensitive about the great spiritual life and sadhana. One of the biggest problem to all of us is not owning this knowledge, though we are listening. And why is it so? Because we are not doing the manana. The manana is of two parts. One part is what is said is understood through that mananam by reflection, contemplation, to how it is related to me. That is the manana. How is it related to me? Means me as a jiva, I am suffering with the upadhis. So for me to have the permanent moksha, this is the only way. Therefore, gaining the knowledge is one, relating that knowledge with ourselves is two, with which only we get the prerana to do the sadhanas. And what is sadhana? No, not million things. Just antarmukh mano and try to see the substratum within. And that is what we are studying. तम आत्मस्थम येनु पश्यन्ति धीराः तेषां सुखम शाश्वतम नेतरेषाम्. That's what we are seeing. Jnatva devam muchyate sarvapashai. We are not studying any other subject through our classes. Exactly that alone. So in the second mantra, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadhati Kaman Tat Karanam Sankhya Yogadhigamyam Jnatva Devam Uchate Sarvapashaihi. Tat Karanam, that Lord who is the cause of everything, Sankhya Yoga Adhigamyam, who is realized through Sankhya Yoga, Jnatva Devam, having known that pure conscious self within us, Uchate, one gets liberated from Sarvapashaihi, from all the ropes or snares or the bondages. This we have to deeply understand. Spend some 5 to 6 minutes for it. So, first word is Tat Karanam. He is the Karana of everything. Bhagavan has not explained, Adi Shankara Bhagavan in his Bhashya, this word, Tat Karanam. He only, Yo Vidadati Kaman, having said that, in my book, to Tat Karanam word and its commentary is not seen. So maybe Bhagavan thought that we have understood already how the Paramatma has become the Karana Rahita Karana to the entire world. This spiritual mathematics, the final logical spiritual mathematics, or mathematical question or doubt we have to solve. Remember, as Adhisthana, if Sachidananda Brahman is not there, nothing of the world can exist. Therefore, he is Karana. Point one. Point two. But he himself, the Sachidananda, never become modified, never changed. He is nirvikari. Why is nirvikari? Because to get through the vikaras, to get modified, you have to have the akara and so many things. Paramatma is nirakara. He is niravayava. Only which has got akara, which has got avayava, can go through vikara. Paramatma being nirakara and niravayava, he is nirvikara. Because he is nirvikara, he is as it is always. Because he is as is always, he has never become Karana. Because he has never become the Karana, the Jagat has not come out of him. Then what? For you and I who have not understood the Brahman as the Sachidananda and himself, in that ignorance only, this projected world taken as real, that's how we become samsari. To pull us out of that and to bring our attention to Paramatma, we are introduced first time about Paramatma to be the cause of this world. So Paramatma is a cause of this world for our attention to be brought from the world to Paramatma. Thereafter, it is only Paramatma is there, neither he became a cause nor any effect called as the world has created out of him. It may be projected. It may be there with all those experiences giving, yet it is not real. Cinema is projected and giving us all emotional experiences while we are going through that cinema, yet it is not real. Dream is projected, and in the dream, we had all the experiences gained, yet because it is projected, it is not real. In the same way, when it is said Tat Karanam, though Bhagavan Adi Shankara has not commented here, he has already commented many of the times in this text and other texts. From that, we have to remember and understand Tat Karanam. In fact, this glorious Shwethashwathara Upanishad starts with this mantra only. Kim Karanam अनतकस्य कुतस्म जाताः किं कारणं ब्रह्म कुतस्म जाताः जीवामकेन क्वच संप्रतिष्ठाः. From that Kim Karanam only the whole thing started. And the entire Vedanta starts with the Karana Mimamsa only. The cause hunting is the one which makes the human beings scientists, if they look for the cause outside, the cause hunting makes the human beings the rishis if the cause is searched inside. The cause is Karanam. So that Karanam stands explained. He is a Karana for us to bring our attention from the Jagat to him. But by himself, he is never a Karana because he is non-modifiable. Then who is he? Karya Karana Vilakshana Ajata Ekamevadvaya Brahma. His Swarupa Lakshanas are Satyam Jnanam Ananta. His one Tatastha Lakshana is Sakshi. The other Tatastha Lakshana is Ishwaratva. As an Ishvara, he is Sarvajnatvam Pareshatvam. Sampurna Shaktita. Yesterday we saw in our evening class. Sarvajnatvam, Pareshatvam, Sarvashaktita, Sampurnata. All the six qualities are told of Tatpada. Remember, the evening classes, the morning classes, the afternoon classes, they are not different shows. This is one theme only. Text is different. We are not studying anything in any of our classes other than the Brahma Tattva. So Tat Karanam explained. Now the next line, Sankhya Yoga Adhigamyam. Okay, Adhigamanam means reaching and realizing. Adhigamanam. So this Brahman is realized, reached and realized and experienced as oneself. How? Sankhya Yoga. And what is Sankhya Yoga? In its purest form, The Sankhya Yoga is, as we have studied in Gita, second chapter, this uh, trying to realize that Satchit Tattva Swarupa only. A little lower level mein, the Sankhya Yoga is divided into two parts, Sankhya as well as Yoga. It is necessary for many of us. In that yoga part of the sadhana, we are drawing our attention away from the world through Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. All these three yogas are the meaning of the word yoga. Then the Jnana Yoga is the meaning of the word Sankhya. Therefore, Sankhya and Yoga, if you talk about them, in that the Yoga are all the practices by which our Antakarana is purified, made single pointed, made subtle, etc. With that, within us, deeply inquiring through Drashta Drashya Viveka or Avastatraya Viveka, Gunatraya Viveka, Dehatraya Viveka, whichever the path which suits you or which you like. Through that, inquiring and reaching to that self is called Sankhya Marga. So, Tat Sankhya Yoga Adhigamyam, Tat Karanam and Sankhya Yoga Adhigamyam. So, therefore, that is not that Paramatma cannot be available or obtainable. He is obtainable. Point one. Two, he is obtainable through Sankhya Yoga. Three, he is obtainable only through Sankhya Yoga. Four, the Sankhya Yoga can be defined two ways. One way is Yoga and Sankhya. Second is only pure Sankhya Yoga. In that pure Sankhya Yoga, as in chapter 2, it's only Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha, like the chapter 2 mein Bhagavan concludes. Only attending to the substratum, the conscious self, which Bhagavan going on talking from the 11th sloka onwards in Gita. So tat karanam Sankhya Yoga Adhigamyam stands explained. As we saw yesterday also in our common sense thought, if you remember, the only two things we have to do are pull ourselves or control our Prakriti Sambandhi sadhana, then realize our Purusha Tattva. The Prakriti management sadhana is Yoga, then Purusha realization sadhana is called Sankhya. And in that, somebody either questions who am I, or somebody tries is to trace to the point where is this aham is experienced or felt or starting. And in that aham thinking, one reaches to that self. And that is what in Vedanta, whatever the upadhis are coming, vrittis are coming and going back, where from they are coming and going. More directly, they say that it is pure Sat. Sat is which is there all the three types. Therefore, whichever is coming and going, when you reject all of them, what remains is Sat. They also say it's a pure consciousness, illuminator. Next shloka is that only. And in this very shloka, the next line is that only. So attend to that objectless awareness. Attend to the objectless awareness or attend to pure satta or attentive to that status or position from where the thoughts and antakarana is coming and going. Whichever the technique among these we follow, we reach to that state. And that state is direct personal experience. It's not being an object, cannot be explainable. वो ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं है इसलिए ऑब्जेक्टिवली देखा नहीं जा सकता. That is the only thing in Atman, that it being subject, it cannot be objectified. But it is experiential. That I am that Sachidanand. So Sankhya Yoga Adi Gamyam is explained. Jnatva. Underline this word. Jnatva is, it is the self which is already we are. Only we are ignorant, therefore we think ourselves to be Jiva. So that self has to be known, that's it. That's why Jnatva. जानने के मात्र से ही मुक्ति है और कुछ नहीं. ज्ञात्वा. And a hint is given here, Devam. What is Devam explained by Shankara Bhagavan? Jyotirmayam. In other places, Deva means Dyotanatmakam. Whether it is Dyotanatmaka or Jyotirmaya, the meaning is same. Jyotirmaya means is pure mass of embodiment of consciousness. Maya, you know the meaning. Maya means full of. Jyotirmaya means is full of Jyoti only. In that consciousness, there is no even objectivity, even sense of otherness. From where alone the notion of the mind comes, and this mind, with its capacity of projecting the thoughts, goes on projecting first drashya drusha thought, second in the drushya, the millions of things. Such a powerful Maya Nataka is going on. Just like once somebody said something to us, it is over. But basing on that one thing said by that person, how many millions of thoughts and projections, imaginations, notions we keep on entertaining with our bevakufi. Sometimes it is such an extent that even a guru says one sentence to us, and we hold on to that sentence for months together, years together, and brood over that. It is nothing but our own mind's maya, which has nothing. If you understand this example, in the same way, from the pure conscious self, the sense of otherness, when it is entertained, that takes the position of the mind. That funny mind has the ability to project the drashta drushya jagat, and it has again the ability of dividing drushya into millions, which we are seeing. The millions of drishyas and the drashta, both of them are nothing but the mind. Mind is nothing but the thought. Thought is nothing but the sense of otherness in the pure consciousness. When that sense of otherness is dropped, means I am somebody other than consciousness. When that thought is dropped by I am consciousness realization, I remain as consciousness, no sense of otherness, no mind, no thought, no drashta drushya, no samsara at all. That is why Jnatva Devam, when that Jyotismaya Paramatma is realized as the self, Muchate Sarva Pashai. Now, what are the Sarva Pashas, all bondages from where we get liberated? Bhagavan Shankara gave a hint to understand Avidya Adivihi. So, what are the Pasha? Avidya and Adi. I just now said consciousness is not realized as myself, that's called as avidya. From there, the sense of otherness comes. From there, the jiva bhava individuality comes. That individuality projects and identifies with the upadhis. All of them are happening only in the mind, only as thoughts, mind you. Then one way, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, these panchakleshas are the ropes, which is in the Sankhya language, in the Yoga Darshana language. Or avidya kama karma is the Hridaya Granthi in which we are tied down according to the Vedanta. So from this avidya, the pasha, we are getting liberated. And we have seen yesterday in Mandukya Upanishad also, and in this class also, as we just now also touched avidya of the self, an individual other than the Paramatma Tattva, he cannot remain limited, isolated, therefore identifies the upadhis. Upadhis being limited, he feels a sense of limitation. That sense of limitation doesn't make him happy. To become happy, he wants to become infinite. That is how the want starts, and that want he projects on the things and beings which he sees outside. Therefore, he desires the things and beings, and then he pursues that desire by doing one or the other karma. And every karma, in its own nature, has its own phala to give. And who does the karma, to him only the phala goes. Therefore, for us to get that phala, we are forced to take this or that equipment in this or that place, which we call it as the janma. For the sake of that, the present one we have to live. Therefore, this is called as the mrityu. That's how the mrityu and janma and karma phala bhoga, and again continuing the ignorance, and with ignorance doing the same karmas, and again getting died here, getting born somewhere, again to go those karma phala. In this way, karma, avidya, kama, karma phala, janma, marana, samsara, which is the pasha, continues. All of that goes away when Jnatva Devam. One realizes oneself to be that pure consciousness. And who is he? Nityah Nityanam, Chetanah Chetananam, Ekah Bahunam, Vidadati Kaman, Karanam, Sankhya Yogadigamyam, Devam Jyotirmayam. So, how many pointers are given for us to have an idea in our intellect, to ponder over or contemplate, to reach out to the self? Our problem is what? Immediately after the class, we throw away this book and subject as if we are tied down in a jail and enter into the world like a free bird. That day, when we realize entering into the world is like entering into the jail, and studying, contemplating on the reality to realize is like the freedom from the jail. When we come to that level of maturity, then only we prefer sadhana over everything else, and we continue doing this manana chintana sadhana. Then only spirituality enters into us. We enter into spiritual zone. ये जब करोगे तब होगा, नहीं करोगे कभी नहीं होगा. At this very moment, we can give up everything and take up only spirituality 100%. Just like it is very moment, we can give up spirituality, whatever little we are doing, and we can go back into worldliness. All is our wisdom, our discretion, our choice, our decision, our action, our result. In this, all other causes are secondary causes. The primary is, are you wanting to get freed from all bondages? Yeah, it's only by knowing the self. That is by this method. Are you wanting to have the permanent happiness? Sukham Shashrutam. Yeah, for that, this is only way. Tamatmastam yenu pashyanti dhiraha tesham sukham shashvatam. In this way, shashvata sukha as well as freedom from all pasha happen when we realize our oneness with the self in us, the Jyotirmaya Atma Vastu in us. We're already that. We have to realize that's all. That's what Vedanta does. What it keeps on teaching to us what is our essential self. It goes on telling us identify with it, avoid in it, identify with it, avoid in it, stay in it. This identification with the self, avoidance in the self, staying in the self. In the evening, our Vyakyavarti Prakarana Shastra language, it's called as Sohamityavadharaya, Sohamityavadharaya, Sohamityavadharaya. And nowadays, Brahma, Tad Brahmetyavadharaya, Tad Brahmetyavadharaya. The important word is Avadharana. Avadharana means get into that. Like doctor has to be in Avadharana. I am a certified doctor, a professional. My job is to treat the patient. So, patient is coming in front of me. Now I have to see what are his symptoms. I have to test and know what are the causes for his disease. I have to give the treatment. So, what the doctor should do is, I am doctor, I have to teach the patients that Avadharana he has to do. करके करके ही इज प्रोफेशनल डॉक्टर सच वे किसी के शादी में भी जा रहा है ही ओनली लुक्स फॉर द पेशेंट्स in the same way whichever the world we are in we have to search for the atman only. That's called as atma avadharana. So hamityavadharaya. अवधारणा मीन्स पूरा बिठा के रखना दिल में कि वो तत्व मैं हूं इसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं हूं मैं. Evening class, that's how is complementing our morning class. So Gnatva muchade sarvapashehi tamatmastvenu pashyanti dhiraha. Their anupashyanti, your jnanat gnatva, both are same. The result is uh, tesham sukham shashvatam, and here also muchate sarvapashehi. And while understanding these subjects, if one thought is not shared, this subject doesn't become complete, which we see in Gita, etc. What is it? Here Upanishad only in the earlier sloka, that other than knowing the self, there is no way to get liberated from the pashas, and there's no way to get permanent happiness. And impermanent happiness is only notion that it is an happiness. It's only a misery in waiting. The temporary happiness is only misery in waiting. Happiness, if it is, it has to be permanent. And permanent happiness only is freedom from all snares or chains. And that is achieved only in realizing our inner self. Therefore, become Nivrutta and realize the self. This is what we started in our common sense thought also. First one we saw who is Rakshasa, Manushya, Deva, and Sadhaka. Then second one, the Prakriti never ends. We have to put an end. Spirituality never begins. We have to begin. We gave the example of Puja Gurudev. So all our 6 things which we have done are interrelated. Thank you very much. Sarvam Bhagavat Charanaravindharpanamastu. Now tomorrow when you come with introduction, the most famous mantra, Natatra Suryo Bhati, the Chandra Tarakam, we are going to study. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषद ऋषिभ्यो नमः श्वेताश्वतर ऋषये नमः तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु salutations and thanks to one and all. Join for Gita tomorrow. Come with Ganapati Atharva Shirsha for our Vedic chanting, and then Varaha Gayatri we will do in our Gayatri Mantrocharana, and let's see what common sense thought Lord gives. And when it comes to Upanishad, we'll chant, study the 14th mantra, the TATRA SURYO. Now join in 2 minutes for Gita. Om Namo